What is up, guys? I'm your friendly neighborhood web war fanatic, and this will just be another quick news recap video of Fantasy Flight Games Synthezoid Smackdown PvP gameplay here. I'll put the link to this video in the description, so you guys want to check it out. Definitely, I recommend it. They actually play Synthezoid Smackdown here. Peter versus Aaron, playing the She-Hulk leader versus the Vision leader there, so that's very exciting. But throughout, this live stream, the chat asked a bunch of questions to Fantasy Flight Games, and Olivia, the community manager for Marvel Champions, answered these questions. So I'm just going to recap that news for some of you guys that weren't able to catch the stream here. So this is where someone asked about the distribution delays, and this is their answer.
I'm getting some questions in chat about pre-orders, especially involving like Trickster Takeover, Civil War, Synthezoid Smackdown. I regret to say we don't have a lot of really great answers. Here at FFG, we make games. We are only barely involved in distribution. And as a result, we try to sell you guys to talk to your local game stores. They're usually going to have the best points of communication with the distributors who are actually bringing the game into various countries. So I know that's not the best answer. I know I'd love to be able to give you guys a more like definitive answer of when a product's going to hit a certain province or region. But sadly, it's just not something that I really have access to.
So this is pretty much the same thing that we've seen her say, on social media, that Fantasy Flight Games, they don't really have like the information about the distribution stuff, at least not the team right here, the developers and all of that. But I do have cool news here that I saw on Villain Theory's channel. He made a post and he has both Civil War and Synthezoid Smackdown here. And if you guys don't know, Villain Theory is a Marvel Champions content creator from the UK. So I know that specifically the UK and Canada has been having a lot of delays, a ton of delays here, but it's really cool to see that UK has got, Civil War and Synthezoid Smackdown like before the US. So I don't even have this yet. So yeah, huge shout out to Villain Theory here. And this is really good news for everyone in the UK. Hopefully Canada can also get it soon. I've seen some people saying that like their store said that they'll get it next week. So hopefully next week is a week that everyone can get Synthezoid Smackdown and the Civil War expansion. Okay, the next part of the video here is Olivia answers a little bit about our print heroes and like how the big heroes will be coming back one way or another.
These will allow people to just sit down and have that information. Regarding out-of-print products, we don't have a lot to say right now. We've talked some about what kind of options we're going to have for out-of-print products, but at this time, all I can say is for all the heroes, not all, for most of the heroes that I hear people talk about quite regularly, them being difficult to get.
Okay, so like, I'm just gonna like guess, but I feel like they're talking about Doctor Strange and Captain America the most. That's probably what they're hitting at. They mentioned specifically Captain America before, like not saying for sure that we're getting a revisited Captain America, but they've used him as example like, hey, if we get a revisited Captain America, it will be Captain America Steve Rogers. It won't be like a different Captain America like as example. So I think we can assume that Captain America is one of the heroes that they were talking about, like a popular hero that a lot of people are asking for.
We have stated that some of these heroes will be coming back. We've said in one form or another. I do want to be very clear. When we say in one form or another, we are talking about in a playable form, not as an ally card, not as a leader in a PvP mode. We are specifically saying that some of these heroes will come back with new redesigns or small changes, depending on the individual hero. We don't have any to announce right now or reveal, but that is ultimately what we have to say on the subject. I'd love to be able to give you guys more information on the subject, but we just don't have it at the moment.
So the info there is actually a little bit different than what we got in the past. I believe that before they said that the revisited heroes will be a completely new version of the character, right? Like from like a different point in time or something like that, right? Like for example, it could be like we have like Doctor Strange already, and we could get like a different Doctor Strange, one with like the Time Stone in his kit or something like that, right? But now I think from this wording, maybe we may be getting like smaller revisits where like a lot of the character is the exact same and maybe like a few cards are different versus like the entire kit. I'm not entirely sure. I also do want to clarify that I have gotten comments, recently about people talking about how they want a new Captain America Steve Rogers, and that they don't like, the Captain America Sam Wilson, and how they think that, we won't be getting a new T'Challa Black Panther because we already got the Shuri Black Panther. And the Fantasy Flight Games did confirm in a previous live stream that, the revisited characters will be the exact same like alter ego name. So like if Black Panther gets revisited, it will be T'Challa, right? Shuri does not count as a revisited Black Panther, and Sam Wilson does not count as a revisited Captain America. If we do get a revisit for Captain America, it will be the Steve Rogers name for that hero. And then here someone asked about the rules reference guide, which was teased, at that PAX Unplugged announcement, talking about a potential rules reference guide 1.7. I'm assuming 1.7 because we already have 1.6, so it's gotta be 1.7, right? But yeah, they mentioned when we can expect this, like around December, but probably before Christmas is what Olivia says here.
Regarding a question in chat right now about specifically when the rules reference is coming, I don't have the specific date at this time. I do believe our goal is to get it out before Christmas. So probably, I guess, is the best answer I can give. Probably.
And then here at this segment, someone asked about X-Men coming back to Marvel Champions, and I've seen a lot of comments, people telling me that they think that, because of the license agreement with X-Men, X-Men are done, the mutants are gone forever, we're never getting them back. And, I'm not entirely sure about how the licensing stuff works, but I've always been hoping that we get X-Men back. So someone did ask Olivia about this here, and this is what she says.
And the question in the chat, will X-Men or mutants ever be revisited? I can confidently say I do think there will be more X-Men cards in the future for Marvel Champions. Cannot say what, cannot say when, but I think they'll be there.
Yeah, that's a safe enough spoiler to give, I think.
Yeah, one day
more mutants.
there will be more
sure.
mutants.
Yeah.
Okay, so like, I mean, I don't know, like she thinks that they'll be there. Like, I don't know if that's any confirmation, but I mean, I also feel like they gotta be back in the game because like at some point, maybe in like a year or so, the mutants will all go out of print and we gotta have X-Men and mutants in Marvel Champions, right? It's a Marvel game. So like, I think it would be really cool if we get them, back to the game, like maybe like a revisited Cyclops, Wolverine, and then like finally Beast, like what a lot of people are asking for. I think that's awesome that someone asked that question. That's a really good question. And then they also mentioned something a little bit about Luke Cage, and they kind of like teased that his Precon deck may be in leadership because Aaron was talking about how like they possibly took inspiration whenever they were designing Luke Cage about the point in time whenever he was mayor. So like maybe he might be in the leadership aspect. It's not like 100% confirmed, but like possibly. And they also mentioned something about the beta environments here, and the wording that they used seems to imply that like we may have like a say so, like depending on how the beta environment goes, maybe it might take some feedback from the community. And I looked up on Google here what beta environment means, and it says it's like a pre-release version of software or a system copy from like, all that stuff. I don't know anything about that. But like in Marvel Champions, I was surprised to hear the term beta environment in that PAX Unplugged announcement because we've only heard it referred to as the current environment in the legacy environment. But if it's like a beta environment first, maybe that means that it's gonna be like kind of like a test, and then like we can play it out and see like how we like it before like it actually becomes, that legacy slash current environment. So I'm not entirely sure what that means. They didn't really have any information more regarding to that. But yeah, hopefully we can get more information about the environment soon. I'm not sure if it's going to be coming out this year though. They also did mention in a live stream that this will be the final Fantasy Flight Games live stream, at least for Marvel Champions for this year, for 2025 here. So I'm not sure if there will be an announcement about that, but we do know that it's likely for us to get that new rules reference guide, sometime before Christmas. Probably going to be this year. So maybe there might also be like an article or something like that. I'm not sure. That's just all me speculating there. But yeah, that's just going to be a short recap here on the live stream that Fantasy Flight Games did. So yeah, we didn't get any like really crazy news or like crazy review. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this recap, and I'll see you guys all in the next one.